Well, fuck it. It's been 8 minutes. VOD watchers tend to skip the intro anyway, so it doesn't matter. But hi. My Dia Cup came in today. I had a minor panic attack because they didn't inform me as to who was delivering it originally. And then when it got delivered, they're like DHL, and I'm like, oh fuck, I hope it actually did get delivered and didn't just get stolen. But it is up there. I'm kind of hoping that I have a little more of my renovation stuff done by the time that most of my other stuff comes in. Because it would be kind of nice to be able to actually place, like, all of that in their own, like, spots. Like, have shelving in one of the rooms and whatnot. Obviously, I'm not going to have all of my stuff sorted by the time my next items come in, because my next stuff will only take, like, a couple extra weeks. Because I believe that the egg stuff and the rain stuff was only like... what is with this freaking group of tissues? This is the fourth one that I've pulled out that just has an entire, like, extra tissue attached to it. They were cut off in a freaking weird angle. It's like someone cut another tissue in half and then freaking glued it to the first one. Either way, as I was saying, that actually is really nice. I like that. This has the same problem that my freaking GGF has, though, where freaking... It's not as big of a problem because it's all one thing. That is really good, though. But it did, like, get moisture in it or something because that was clumped. Either way, actual freaking... Back to actual discussion. I am hoping that, like, at least bedroom-wise, the remainder of renovation is finished in time for all of that stuff. I need to kind of redo the shelving in that room. Let me mute real quick while I shake this up. Alright. They actually gave me 4 sample packs this time. They used to do 3. I don't know if that they've actually up to 4 or if it's just a thing that they did due to a shaker. You know, I'm not a huge fan of the name raw meat. But the flavor's actually really good. I think they said it was watermelon and cantaloupe, which is really good. Let me hop into Discord real quick in case Tebra does want to join. Ray is already busy with her side of things, so she won't be joining until later if she does. That being said, I'm hoping to get renovation stuff done. Tomorrow's Wednesday, so hopefully I will get more renovation stuff done. I do have a few things that I have to do just in general. Some of which I'll take care of tonight. Like, I can do basic cleaning stuff at night. It's only really moving shit that I actually have to wait until daylight for. First break, I should go and get the other vacuum. Come to think of it. Because it's currently next door due to sister using it. Because, I mean, obviously the house that's being renovated that had fallen into disrepair needed vacuuming and whatnot. I mean, I guess they're both kind of getting renovated to a certain degree, but that one over there is the one that's like the real needing of work. Over here's been some minor things, and then eventually, hopefully the roof will get fixed. Maybe I'll do a freaking sequel to the roof fix-a-thon at some point. Speaking of money-related stuff, I freaking got approached, by someone who says that they wanted to sponsor me. And I'm kind of curious as to, like, what reasoning they... I mean, I guess it's because it's an FPS. But they were like... They're like, do some sort of thing for, like, ping or something like that. Which even when I had my old freaking, internet, my ping wasn't my problem. It was upload and download that was the big problem. But I looked them up because I'm like, oh, you know, my size, I'm expecting like everyone that's not through a third party to be a scam. Just trying to fish out my info or my freaking Discord or whatever. And they seem to be a legitimate company, so I'm like, alright, well, give me the info. I did look up a little other stuff, and... It's not looking great as far as, like, most of everyone else's reviews. The problem is that, like, some people have complaints about it, but the only actual review of it is also fucking AI. The only actual, like, YouTube review of it. There's Reddit reviews, obviously, but, like... The only... I'm gonna go through and use the thing in order to tell you if it's worth it, blah blah blah, is fucking AI voiced and shit. And it's like... Man, I can't freaking win either side. I can't fucking tell if something's good or bad via reviews anymore because it's just freaking ass. I actually, well, I shouldn't have freaking unshuffled, cause like just right below that was actually hi-fi, which I would not have been opposed to. That's Nash. I'm not opposed to going into that region, I suppose. That is kind of where we always wind up going, though. So, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I have my, like, little pocketbook of freaking what sponsorships I'd like to get offered. But unfortunately, freaking what I do wind up getting offered half the time is... I guess I don't really get offered bad things all that often. Like, sometimes I really do just find people that are really, really bad at their jobs. I got offered a... sponsorship for a game... Fucking... What was it? A year ago, I think? Actually, I downloaded the game that they offered me at the time, so let me, Oh, I don't have it marked as to when I downloaded it. Let me see if my emails still have it. Yeah, over a year ago now. It was June of last year. I remember talking to Sarah and Tepper about it, and I'm like, is this like an actual legit thing? And I had to go to the site of the people that made the game. And ask them if they had actually gone through this person, because this person was... I don't know what their logic was. They were quite possibly one of the worst And this was a third party, so I don't hold it against, like, the game devs. But they were, like, quite possibly one of the worst, like, third-party brokers that I had ever freaking ran into. Not like they were disrespectful or anything, but they... How do I put this? They were bad at their job. Just flat out. They didn't come in with any, like, actual monetary offer, despite saying that it was a sponsorship outright. They tried to skirt around actually paying me based off of how many people went through things, and only wanted to give me a flat rate. Which they wanted to try and have as, like, $2 per person for my CCV. So they wanted to, they're like, oh, well, the specific one that we're looking at here, because they chose specifically a Tuhu Tuesday, which is, like, my slowest day. They're like, oh, well, this only has 4 people, and we'll give you $8 to freaking do this for... I think that they tried to, they were like, we'll add 8 to freaking a base rate or something like that. So they were like, we'll give you $28 to freaking play this game for 4 hours. And it's like... Are you fucking insane? Am I going to get commission based off of how many people click through? No. It's like... But we are going to give you these, and they gave me like 6 codes. So they're not taking into account like the CCV for code, the number of codes they give me, but they are freaking, or they're not taking into account their freaking perception, quote unquote, of it, of my CCV for that. However, they are freaking... For the sake of not having to freaking pay me, like, what I'm actually... What my time's actually worth. Like, I'm not asking... I wasn't asking for, like, freaking $600 or anything for freaking 2 hours or whatever, but, like... I don't remember what I said my freaking rate was for that, actually. But they gave me 6 fucking codes. And they're like, hey, you can give this out to, like, your viewers and whatnot. And it's like, so... You say that I only have a handful of viewers for the purposes of not paying me. But you're going to give me free codes that are enough to cover every one of that. So obviously, at this point, I start thinking, okay, this person, like, ripped a bunch of codes or something and is trying to just pawn them off so that they don't freaking... So that they can either spread freaking people that are getting shit for it, or something. Or just shafting the freaking person that they stole the codes from. Um... Oh, even my offer apparently was $2 to $3 dollars per person. Because it's 2 hours. I'm like, I want to get paid for this. If I freaking am going to spend 2 hours shilling your game, I would like to actually, you know, make something off of it. When I could be theoretically spending that 2 hours on art and freaking making 100 from that. My average art pieces actually take more than 2 hours, but you get the idea. And that was when my prices were lower, actually, so... Because I've upped my prices since then. For commissions. But yeah, freaking... They freaking kept trying to freaking lowball me, and they kept trying to lowball me. They kept trying to offer me freaking just keys that were more than they freaking claimed that I even had in CCV, so it made no sense if they were trying to actually market the game. And they're like, if you want to get 50, you're going to have, if you want to get $50 for, you're going to have to sell 3 copies of the game, and it's like, you were giving me 3 codes for handouts here, like off the bat. What is your logic here? And like I said, I outright was like, okay, I'm going to go and find out who made this game. And then I'm going to contact their support. Because this is fishy as hell. And they said that they did actually hire the person on. So at the very least, it wasn't like a scam, but I did just drop conversation with that. Because they were not freaking being reasonable. They didn't want to have a discussion. They wanted to freaking try and fleece me for as much as they could. They kept going, no, our counteroffer's not 0. Our counteroffer is that you have to freaking make this minimum number of freaking things in order to do that. And it's like, I'm advertising your shit. This isn't one of those things where I went and approached you for a free code. Or you were just offering a code. You are offering me a sponsored stream. Like freaking, whatever the game was that we did a couple weeks ago that I don't remember the name of off the top of my head. It was like Beastmaster or something. Um, I actually did get offered another game, so we might play that later this week or something. That's Momodora. That's not what I'm after. Momatorium. It should be around here because I didn't play it terribly long. Barbarian Saga Beastmaster. That one was just I got a free code, and they're like, hey, you can get a code for another game if you complete this. And I'm like, okay, I'll do that. That's a similar thing to what happened with fucking what was it called? Steve's Warehouse. The Suika game. Or Pairs and Perils. Pairs and Perils was really fun. The boss that I left off on was a bitch because it really required you to have a specific build in order to beat it. But that was a fun one. Steve's Warehouse was alright. Barbarian Saga I wasn't the biggest fan of. But it wasn't bad. I gave it a lot of shit, but like there's a few key design points that were I didn't like. But yeah, those are all examples of games where it's like they approach me with a code and they're like, "Hey, if you want, here's the code. You can stream it, you could not. In one case, if you stream it and give us feedback, we'll... Actually, I think two of them were. Pairs and Perils wasn't... We'll give you something else for that, but it is... We want feedback as well. But I'm not opposed to, like... If something strikes my fancy, I'm not opposed to doing it for just the game. If you approach me with that as your freaking, like, up front on it. Obviously. Because there's a difference between doing that and then doing what freaking... The really bad one that I'm referring to did a year ago, where they're like, hey, we want to sponsor you, we want to, like, let's discuss a price point. And I'm like, okay, here's my price point. Oh, that's too much. How about we do this? Actually, on second thought, let's not even do that. Let's do, if you wind up getting us to this many sales, then we'll consider... It's like, if I wanted to have my payout be based off of how many sales I made, I'd become a used car salesman or something, dude. Or I'd freaking go to the Streamlabs. I keep getting offers for Streamlabs things, and like the first thing is like Raid Shadow Legends every single time, and it's like, Those ones are the ones that are like up front where they're like, hey, this is going to be based off of how many people click your freaking... how many people complete a thing. A lot of, like, sponsorships that people wind up doing, like an average standard is offered to play for X amount of time, they get a link, and it's click-through. It's not how many people purchase, it's click-through. Like Egg not the other day, but like a couple months ago, had Dune Awakening. Is that what the survival game is? Yeah, Dune Awakening. And she outright said it's like, you guys don't have to like buy the game, but if the game's interesting, click on it and wishlist it, and check it out, and I get paid based off of how many people click through the link rather than, because they can't really track how many people buy it based off of it. And that's just how it is, like... The point of the matter is transparency. In the end of the day. Tell me up front, firstly, and be professional about it. I'm not gonna freaking tell you, oh, I am way above your petty just offering me a code. Because, I mean, I'm not freaking rocking triple digits. I'm not gonna freaking scoff at a code for a game that I might have actually looked into the demo of my own volition anyway. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those kinds of things. If you're going to, like... be professional, firstly. You're not commissioning me for art. We're not freaking in a casual interaction here. Like, I don't have a problem with people that are commissioning me for art are, like, casual about it, obviously, because a lot of them are friends, firstly. But because, like, just be upfront with what you're wanting when it's that. Don't try and freaking hey, because there's too many fucking scammers that are just trying to make small talk at the beginning. So if you just want to, like, approach and go, like, hey, do you wanna draw these two characters fucking? I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? But... But that's just how it winds up going half the time. It varies based off of... it varies a lot based off of, like, what the setting is. But if you're a company approaching me, then please freaking be professional to a certain degree. And be, like, actually upfront about what you're after. Don't try and freaking be like, haha, so we actually want to try and freaking get this, like, to this point, right? I also apparently freaking got sent another thing. What is this? Alright, let me take a look at this. I actually did have another freaking... Okay, well... Okay, I recognize you at least to a certain degree because you have offered me in the past. But your previous game was not in the demographic of things that I normally do. Alright. Checks out. What the fuck? Yeah, okay, go fuck yourself, dude. I don't even know anyone in France. Who the fuck do you think you are? Aside from dumb as hell, apparently. But yeah. That's the long and short of it. I just really wish that... Here's the thing, it is one that stands out of, like, everything, right? And I mostly wind up thinking back on that because of today's... They're not... The one that approached me today is not unprofessional. It's just more along the lines of... They do definitely have a few standout things. They have, like, no presence, but at the same time... Apparently, according to some people, they have enough of a presence that everyone that isn't a bot is freaking got a negative opinion of them. So I'm very confused as to where they actually stand on things. All that to say, I sent them to give me information on what they actually are, what they do, and all that shit. And probably not going to actually go anywhere with it, to be honest. This is actually really good. I'm actually tempted to, like, flat out buy a freaking tub of it. Which is really weird because I don't like the freaking name or anything. I'm gonna put that in my freaking bookmarks. I don't believe I can freaking mark it anywhere else. But I'll go and get the vacuum after freaking when we hit break, and then we'll actually get started afterward. It's Tepper's anniversary on Thursday, so I'm going to we're gonna draw them. I'm debating between Moon Rabbit and I might Raisin. We might go Raisin. I don't know a lot of rabbits, so that might be the play. But I really, really, really don't know how some of these instances wind up happening. Mostly referring to the one from a year ago. I don't know how you find someone like that. I don't know how this person tries to advertise themselves as, like, a major freaking sponsor broker and doesn't even have the basics down as far as, like, professionalism. Because, let's be honest here, dude. What even do you freaking... I get that some people are like, oh, streamer, we gotta be down with the kids, right? It's like, no. If you're trying to do a business proposal, approach it like that. Again, it's not a situation where you're commissioning me for, like, your own personal stuff. People that commission me can freaking be as casual as they want. When it comes down to actual, like, work stuff like that, then freaking approach me with some level of freaking thing. Like, every other person has gone respectfully and has been, like, professional. Like, this other one that I got today. I'm not gonna freaking, like, list off all the stuff and whatnot. But they're like, hi, we just opened a thing. If you're into these things, then you might be interested. Here's the baseline of the stuff. If you're interested, you can find our stuff here. And then they'll say how they found your email, I guess, in this case. I don't really require that, but, like, I do actually have my business email there for those purposes. Don't freaking approach me saying, hey, bro, look at... I think that you might be interested in this thing. I can pay you for it. And then saying, well, actually, I can't pay you unless we freaking do this. you're being way too casual with me for something that's a business proposal, and then you're freaking going back on it being a business proposal at all because I freaking respect my own time. I don't need you to freaking give me a six-page dissertation about why you're approaching me and what games you saw me play in order to, like, think about this. Which is interesting because the one that I responded to earlier today, the other one I'm referring to, did actually tell me how they found me. Because they saw me doing Doom Eternal. And that they're respectful. I'm not, like, calling them out. I just don't freaking say names for ones that I'm actively discussing, obviously, because, I mean... There's a difference between me talking about ones that I've already, like, done things for and talking about, like, them if they're a positive experience. Like, you know, Pairs and Perils, which was fun, and Beastmaster and Steve's Warehouse and whatnot. If I've already done them and then they're, like, open there, and especially if I've enjoyed them, I don't really have a problem with, like, mentioning them again. But if I, am still in the middle of deciding if I'm even going to freaking interact with them at all, or decide not to at all, or, like, have an outright bad experience, unless they've done something to cross a line, I don't freaking mention them really, because I'm not going to give them free advertising, or I'm not going to freaking, like, constantly berate them and then freaking suddenly get pissy about the fact that I commented on a bad experience or something. Like, and this one I'm just going to mention because it's a dead project at this point, but there was a game way back when that and I've done a video on this one. I think that I might have deleted both the videos related to it. But I did, like, a small review of Max Control because I was requested for that back when I was exclusively doing YouTube. And then I did a follow-up sometime later when it was revealed that the person that they wound up making, like, a second in command of sorts was just going around and bullying review people and whatnot to get... No, they were bullying creators, saying, oh, we're going to, unless you give us 50 free codes, we're going to review bomb your game and give it a shitty review and whatnot. I don't remember the dude's name exactly. He's probably changed names at this point, but he freaking ran, like, a curator group, and he used it as a freaking leveraging point so that he could try and get free games from indie devs. And freaking Max Control made him, like, an admin of their freaking server or whatever, and it's like, okay, well, I don't agree with this, and also I can't support this shit. He might have, like, done the whole blackmail thing to them as well to get to that point. Which, you know, sure, whatever. It's one thing to freaking, you know, not want your game to be shat on and to, I guess, given to blackmail or whatever. Making him an admin of your server, then you start to kind of drift into that gray area of complacency with them and agreement with them or something like that. So I don't know. I left the server and then I made a follow up on why I was no longer going to have my review up for the game and whatnot. I don't know. I've got a few minutes left. Let me take a look to see if I even still have the second video up on my channel. At all. My guess is that I have it unlisted if I do. But I probably just outright deleted it. This I could probably delete. Because this was a freaking school project that I uploaded. This is me singing poorly. One of these days I'll freaking... one of these days I'll freaking watch through some of my old videos and, like, see how far I've come, like, as a reward or something. I know that some of these things are going to be, like, painful to watch again or something. I privated, an old theory video because it just flat out got lore answered. I did a theory way back when Ark first came out about what the purpose of the Arks was. And at this point... it's just flat out lore answered. So there's no real point in having those up on their own. Yeah, I don't seem to have either of my max control videos still up. I have a handful of freaking private videos because I find the numbers that they got funny. I deleted everything around them, like freaking Necoparo ones. I have the videos that got the thousands of views privated. But... I don't have the other videos to compare them to because, like, there's one of them where there's all the videos before it that are, like, 36, 36, 29, and, like, maybe 100 at most. And then suddenly we get to the freaking one where the thumbnail is sex. Post-sex scene. I mean, I had the censored versions at the time, so it's just the post freaking CG of it. And then it's like 3.8K, and it's like very funny. I'll be back, though. It is break. for a bit until his freaking body warms up. Alright, I'm back. Hiccup is being a piss boy right now because his leg is hurting because the cold is not making his body like the bolt in his leg. So until he warms up, he's gonna have his freaking bolt giving him irritations. Oh, also, for those that are keeping track of the Archie saga, he did send in his verification for Blue. So maybe we get some art streams over there in the... I'm not gonna say near future, but future in general. And then he doesn't have to be paranoid about his freaking reference folder getting out and about. Let me finish reading what I'm reading first before we Okay. I have no idea if Tepper's going to join us tonight. We could also, if they do, we could also freaking partially try out the new, Hey Momo, thanks for the posture and the hydrate. How you doing tonight? God damn it. Some of the water there. Freaking in areas that didn't just drain out. Not too bad. The weather is back into that fluctuation zone where I go to sleep and it's 20 degrees, and then I wake up and it's 70 degrees. And yeah, I needed to do a redo of lists, and then I also figured, thanks to Frosty, that having Liss and Suika's outfit was actually a good idea. So we have... And all the dress physics, too. It's a very, very stark contrast from old Liss's design. Let me actually... I forget how I did this last time. That's two of me. This one gets turned into old Liss. But there's a big contrast between the two, considering there's a 3-year gap between them. Also, old Liss is a little... how do I put it? She had a couple of corners cut on her because of how she was designed for the game that she was originally going to be in. And then she only got used when redeemed because the week after freaking she got made, the game got canceled. Ended. But since she's gotten a different lore setup and whatnot, I figured that I would change a few design things for her. And then obviously the hair needed to be redone so that the hair actually covers over the other eye. She actually has 2 eyes in this this new model. The other one just has a gaping hole, or not even a gaping hole, it just has nothing there. Which is very obvious because the hair doesn't actually cover the area that the eye would be in its entirety. I'm probably going to do a similar outfit to her her old outfit for the base outfit. I'll obviously adjust some things due to lore changes rather than her just kind of being based off of one image that I found outfit-wise. Yep, that's him screaming again. But yeah. A very, very big upgrade. Speaking of design updates, Tebra does want a few changes done to their base design before we actually go into proper model making and whatnot. That being said, I can move us over to here. Actually, let me bring up V-Hand as well. So I can actually use V-Hand again. Without it, without my PC having issues. Where? Oh, weird, okay. Oh, let's open up 3. And we'll have to play around with the calibration again a bit. Let me... I do kind of wish that I could get the nails to be different color. Let me find the proper color for this, though. This 2.0. Grab this. This is for without shading, so this will actually... Ooh. That's... Okay, cool. Forearm needs to be this color. Where are the nails? Nails color. Claw nails. I do this. Do they... Okay, that doesn't have... What the heck? I do kind of want the claw nails, but we need... I need to grab this is what I need, duh. Are these changing color, like, as they go? They are changing color. If I go with the long nails. Oh, wait a second. No. No, never mind. I already had that. I don't know how the claw nails exactly work. We'll go with that. I'm gonna keep my... Alright, so now we need to actually bring up Clip Studio and... I switch my tool. Okay, so... Where is... Hi, can I help you? What are you doing in here, huh? I don't have any skill. Doing, dog. Did you get shooed away? Is that what's going on? What? Why are you in here? Dog. Hey. Hey. Why are you here? Go. Go. Last thing I need is me freaking backing up because and you happen to be laying behind me and I accidentally run you over. What? Hey, 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 hey. Up. Back, 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 back. Okay, you're gonna lie out in the hall? That's fine. I just don't want you... I love how this is going to be the biggest hurdle of this whole thing, is calibrating this so that everything's lined up. Alright, here's what's gonna have to happen. Is that it? No. Do I have... Alright, here's what we're gonna do. A little lower. Can you please actually freaking... Fine. There. Jesus. Adjust this, that adjust. Cool. So this hold up this. This gets pulled down. Pulled down. Pulled in. Pulled in. Pulled in. Pulled in. And now we should be calibrated. There's probably a deviation of 1 or 2 pixels, but we're fine. It's a lot better than us being like freaking 9 miles off. Only took us another half hour. Hey, Uni. I can't wait to not actually get anything freaking done. Because I'm still gonna reference hunt. I know what I'm after. I at least know what character I'm after. Is this on Beller? Not on Beller. Not that. I want this. Yeah, it only took us an hour and 40 minutes to actually get started on the art. perfectly reasonable. This I want to... We might be able to get through basic sketch by the end of stream. But I do want this tilted slightly upward. And I think I want to scrunch this a bit. think this head's a bit too tall. I'm kind of excited for next week, though. For Creative Carousel. Here. It's gonna be like freaking way... I think this is a really tall image that I'm using as a reference, but... This is also much higher than I actually need this to be for the chest. I like this type beat, I think. I also want to shrink the head a bit. Now that I have a more... Oop, that's free transform. Now that I have a better idea. Can I actually freaking select the right tool? Hello? That'll probably actually help me with freaking proportioning this a bit better. Gotten really good at freaking the number of spams I have to do for that. Can't believe that that's kind of what I'm after just from the start there. Probably shrink this down a little once we actually get into the line. I mean, technically it should be like here. It's gonna be covered with a jacket anyway, so it's whatever. These matter a little more because they just only have the skirt going on. This arm here is really, really large. It's more like it. Here, I'll freaking bring this over so you guys can see basically what I'm going for here. Obviously, we're going slightly different. Because it's not as much of an action pose. But vaguely. Because I pointed the pelvis not forward. Or in the opposite direction. Pelvis is really in the opposite direction on the reference image. What we'll probably wind up doing is seeing about getting the lines done at the very least. But this hand is going to be weird because like comes up from here. Honestly, the palm starts like right here, to be honest. According to the image here. And then freaking... Ignore the fact that that's a dog shit hand, it's just kind of a general freaking look. Do I shrink the head a little more? Maybe? This is also going to be covered, so it doesn't really matter beyond general shape. I do need to try and be a little modest with it, though. Okay, I've really needed to pee for a hot minute here, so I am going to... I'm thinking maybe I make spaghetti tonight, to be honest. I think that might be what I'm feeling. Oh no, overlap. I need to adjust my advert slideshow. It's been a bit since I freaking added or removed anything from it. So it would be kind of nice to... So goddamn confused. It would be kind of nice to... I don't think that I've done stiff clothing in a hot minute. Yeah, I think that the last time I did stiff clothing was last year's Halloween outfit. Which was more of a duster style blazer, but it is also a blazer. Alright, let's actually, at least get the hands more set in stone here. I do need to keep Teber from too close to the edge, because I want the big floofy tail visible. But we'll have, like... That's too damn long. No, we need... No, yeah, we do need 3 knuckles there. That's right. Humans only have 4 fingers. I'm not a robot, I know this. This finger's still really fucking long. Hand in general might need to grow a bit. The hand might be small when we actually get down to it. Also, this is like the second person that the second skirt that I'm going to draw in very short time span. I'm also going to wind up shortening these up a bit, because these are jetting out too far as well. This shrinks down a little bit more, flattens out a bit more for that at least. So from here, what layer is this on? That layer. Pinky is really fucking long, and it shouldn't. I see what I'm doing wrong, sort of. I mean, this does go over this. There is no freaking overlap here, because this needs to be on this side of this. I don't know, hands are gonna be a bit weird. Today's apparently one of those I've never seen a hand in my life days. Ugh. A little bit better. This one's the least easy because this is just freaking out like this. Oh, that's awful. That looks like shit. Now, let me get myself a freaking structure for this. Fucking stupid. I want this on another layer. course, I freaking... I'm stupid. Flipped. Vaguely here. Because this arm's honestly longer than it should be. If I'm to be 100% honest. Let me erase this. Not erase, but hide. I don't think it's perfect at all, but it's, I think, better than it was. This hand honestly needs to be tilted a bit. So we pivot from this point. Which then allows us to actually move. Like I said, it's not perfect. It's better, but it's by no means perfect. Today is definitely a I've never seen a hand in my life day. Yesterday was early. Today's stream wasn't terribly early. I was like 10 minutes early, maybe? Yesterday I was a half hour early. Did they change the UI again on YouTube? I know that they've been changing the way that the player looks a bit, but I didn't know if they'd... I just got flashbanged when I freaking opened up YouTube's homepage. Well, apparently tomorrow's going to be an interesting day. And by that I mean I'm avoiding Twitter like the plague tomorrow, I guess. I need to renovate and freaking whatnot anyway. I mean, YouTube likes to just change things for the sake of changing things, so it is what it is. I'm curious. Fucking weird, dude. Hold up, I gotta... This is so fucking weird, dude. Things are gonna be interesting. Alright, anyway, freaking... Fucking weird, dude. It's gonna be a fucking weird thing. Considering it's my first time actually freaking... Ooh, these bolts are way too large. I'm gonna lose my shit every goddamn day with that cat. And then she gets mad when I bring her in here because she's freaking... This is always a catch-up waiting outside. I don't want her to get harassed. I am actually feeling a little lightheaded. I think that I might end a little early. I don't know. I kind of want to finish this up, though. That's the problem. Or I want to finish up, like, getting this guide for the Blazer done, at least. Because we'll have, like, this... this will come down like this. This would be like this. The curve on that is a bit more than it should be for the modest, to be honest. Curve like that. Something like that. That might be a little... It might not be sharp enough. It probably should be more like... Can I please move my pivot point? Should be more like that. I freaking... Should be more like this, I believe. I still gotta figure out what hair I'm going to do, or color hair anyway. Because Tebra's been on the fence about changing hair color a bit. I might do 2 variants. Because they've, I mean, the consensus currently is toggle for... Also, this should go, like, up over into this. I didn't realize what this line actually was at first. Can I actually freaking switch my color here? And by that I mean, can I actually grab the color? That might still not be sharp enough, to be honest. Based off of how this is looking now, this should honestly go more like... like this. Something like that. It'll be refined later. But I really needed this so that I could do this. And again, we're just kind of generally freaking... That's notably off from what it should be. Honestly, freaking, if we're going based off of how the... Part of the problem of freaking changing how action the pose is it does change a bit on how the freaking dynamics work in this. I don't know what color I'll wind up making the tie. The blazer will stay the same. The tie I'll probably do something similar to like what I did when I converted Maka's outfit to Nasu last year. And I'll probably wind up doing a, probably choosing a color from Teber's design in order to do it. And the skirt would start around here. Vaguely. How does this look when all the freaking underside stuff is? The hands are definitely going to have to be reproportioned. Not bad. Not bad considering it's been a year since I freaking did stiff clothing. I put the boobs and the neck on the same layer. I'm a fool. Alright. Let's figure out where we're going. Because I really need to make food, because I have a lot of shit that I need to do. After... By that I mean I plan on cleaning a decent amount, because honestly, one of the hindrances for things looking decent in current renovation state is the fact that half the shit that we've moved is freaking... Same category. I know that I'm following people that are doing it. Drops an ape. That drops her name. Is there drops for art currently? Hello? What? Targo we've rated like 3 times recently, so I think that we're gonna lean toward a Lumi. Targo's also moving into a game, it looks like. Oh no! Targo's doing like he was doing the other day. I think. Also, he fell onto the RuneScape trap. Poor Targo. Alright. Let's go bully Lumi. Be sure to ask her how long ago she started art. I've also rated her twice recently. But she's got a new model out for a spooky month, so we are rating her. I don't have any real announcements. Tomorrow's break day, as per usual. Thursday we'll be back. I don't know if I'll be streaming. It depends on if Teber is doing something for their anniversary. If I'm the one streaming, it'll be Doom. If I'm hanging out with Teber, then I'll announce it there. Speaking of which, there's the socials again. Join the Discord, follow me on Blue Sky, or follow me on Twitter and keep up to date and like such as when I go live, what I'm going live with, and art like we were working on today. That being said, that's gonna be it for me tonight. I'm lightheaded, I really need food. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for the follows, raids, all that good jazz. And I will see you guys on Thursday if all goes to plan. Love y'all. Bye.